Welcome to New Dad Order. Hey, Parfait, my algorithm for CrossFit is blown way up. I don't get it.
That's good.
It's not a cool thing. You know, I mean, maybe the pretty bags. I like the pretty bags they have on there.
Got a lot of options.
Maybe the box jumping. I like that a little bit.
Really?
You know?
Even with those knees?
I guess it's just more flashbacks for me.
Okay.
When I see you guys jumping on boxes, maybe I'm considering, maybe I'm thinking.
Of course you are, man.
About joining. Like, you know, I see the stations. I like the stations, and it reminds me of when I'm doing some of my high intensity workouts. It's sort of CrossFit-ish a little bit when I'm doing that stuff in the trad gym. So why don't you give me like 5 to 10 expectations if I were to decide to actually go and do this CrossFit thing?
All right, we can do that. All right, you hit me up the other day because your algorithm was getting all cluttered, and you're like, all right, I need something, right? You're like, give me like 5, 10 things of what someone could expect if their friend made their algorithm all jammed up with CrossFit stuff, right? So I got a little list for you here of things that I experienced most common. It may not be the textbook stuff of what to expect, but the perspective of after doing it for the years that I've been doing it, of what I've incurred, right? So Jared Parfait here from the New Dad Order podcast to talk to you about a product that we just linked up with called Thirdsy. Thirdsy is a recovery-based product, and if you're like me, who pushes the limits on your workout and being a dad, and just as we continue to age and you need something to help you recover, this is it right here. A friend of mine introduced me to it. I have not been disappointed. Also finding out that a lot of CrossFitters and endurance athletes, guys that do those types of things and women that do those types of things, is a product that they use on a regular basis. It has the magnesium that you need to help your body recover. It has collagen to help the gut health, hair, bone, joint, all of that. It has no sugar, no melatonin, no grogginess when you wake up. I'm a Whoop guy, and if you are a Whoop person, then you track your sleep and you know how much deep sleep and how much REM sleep that you're getting. And after taking this product right here, knowing that I sleep not the required amount of hours, my sleep patterns have improved. I've gotten into deep sleep for recovery and sleeping for maybe 3 hours, feeling fully refreshed, and then going back to sleep and knowing that, oh, wow, I do actually have more sleep. It has helped tremendously. And if you take this product, you'll understand exactly what I mean by that, especially if you're a person who deprives himself of the necessary sleep. Thirdsy, give it a shot. Use our promo code NDOZZZ to get you a discount at checkout. You won't be disappointed. It'll help all your recovery to get you ready for the next day. So, number one, a phrase that we hear constantly there is scaling isn't failing. Okay. And basically what that means is that you don't have to be in shape before you start getting in shape with CrossFit, because it is different. You know, you said you incorporated some interval training, things like that, as far as high intensity and volume, and CrossFit has a lot of that. So the scaling isn't failing, that term that is used so much whenever we're in a class, they give you a workout, and the workout is RX, prescribed, the way it is intended to be done, with maximum weight if there is weight involved, or the elite competition style workout. Of those workouts that we do, with those movements that we do, each one can be broken down into a different level. So this box that's right here could be set to 20 inches, 24 inches, or 30 inches. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? If you can't jump 20 inches or 24 inches or 30 inches, whatever the workout may be prescribed as, you do a step up. That's a scaled version. You're going to get your 10 pull-ups before the end of the year. Guess what? You can't get 10 pull-ups. There's variations of that as well. We scale that movement in the class to fit the fitness level that the person is in. So that right there, scaling isn't failing, knowing that you don't have to be in absolute CrossFit shape of what you would see in your Instagram reels, because that's not normal. I don't look like that. I'm not as strong as those guys. So when there's certain weights on the movements, I've got to alter that weight, use less weight. I can't jump on a 30-inch box, so I'll put it at 24 inches. Just different things. The runs, we'll have runs in the workout. Well, the run might be 400 meters. 400 meters takes me minute 45 seconds, minute 50 seconds. If you're it's not supposed to be a running workout, it's supposed to be a quick run. Well, if you can't do that, then they scale the distance of the run. So there's always movements that we'll do that has a variation of it to fit the person. which is usually one of the most intimidating things about CrossFit. Another thing, coaching. We talk about coaching in this podcast and dealing with kids. Well, no different than dealing with adults as well, because we call our trainers coaches. Yes, it's cheesy. People make fun of it. Oh, CrossFit coach. Well, the guys have to get CrossFit certified in order to teach a CrossFit class. We call them coaches, call them trainers, call them whatever you want. It's the person that's instructing the course.
Always big chest. Don't ever look down, right? Big chest. Go off the rack. Take your breath. Full lunge right here. Don't try to go just right here, baby lunge, and none of this craziness all the way back, right? Big chest the whole time, right here.
For that day, for that whatever. Gyms have multiple trainers, multiple coaches, as we call them in CrossFit, and people really get scared about getting hurt in CrossFit, right? But the coaching matters. It's not the movements and the weight and the workouts that get people hurt. It's unskilled coaches, unskilled trainers. Those are the people that get people hurt because they're going to say, oh, put more weight on the bar. That's if someone's telling you that, then you would run. You work out in a traditional gym. A lot of people do. And that's why they start thinking about possibly doing something like CrossFit because maybe they're bored with their traditional gym. Well, if you were going to work out in a traditional gym and you were going to hire a personal trainer, if you didn't like that person, you probably wouldn't keep going back. So if you're going to find a gym, get a pass. They always offer a week pass to where you can go in, get a feel for it. There's usually more than one CrossFit gym in every community. So venture out, find a spot. If you don't like the personality of the person coaching, then you're not going to show up or you're not going to give your effort. So like anything else, find a personality that fits you of someone that you could actually trust with them. We did a lot of dumb stuff growing up. We don't want to get hurt trying to get fitter as we get older and we can just continue to stay active. And that's a big thing about it. So the coaching does matter. The instructor, the trainer, whatever you want to call it,
right.
It does matter.
So at that particular gym, will there only be one coach?
No,
trainer?
Because there'll be multiple classes. So they'll have a coaching schedule. That's another thing as well. They'll have a coaching schedule, and you will know what coach is coaching which class. So if there's 5 people that coach, obviously time matters because you may not be able to make a certain class time. But if the coach does matter and you really don't like one, but you really like these other 2, pick the class that they're coaching and go to that one.
Yeah, I only ask that because logistically, there might be 4 gyms in the area, but they might be a little further away, and you might want to stay at that spot. The question is, will you have different talent to pull?
They'll have multiple trainers at each gym.
That's good.
So, all right.
Yeah.
So we good on the first
far,
2?
So far, so
makes
good.
sense at least?
Yeah. It's feeling better. Feeling better.
Well, another thing to make you feel better too is to go back to the scaling isn't failing aspect of it from the first one. You got to check your ego at the door. And it's a term that people use a lot of times whenever you start getting in shape or start picking up a new hobby. You got to check your ego at the door. You can't go too fast, too soon, go too hard, too soon. It makes it really difficult. And the class, it's a gym. There's a lot of walks of life in there. So in a CrossFit class, there's a lot of walks of life in there. I'm 43. There's going to be guys in there that are 25, and I used to work out with a guy, Mr. Denny, 70 years old, deadlifting.
CrossFit?
Oh, yeah. Hopping on the boxes, deadlifting 335 like it's no big deal. All right? He's a beast. He's a good guy. That's what happens. So many different skill levels in there. I'm not trying to keep up with him on certain things. That's his wheelhouse. He's going to live in there. He's going to put it, the 25-year-old kid, yep, he's going to torch me on certain things. It doesn't matter. We're not in a competition. You log your scores so you can keep track of your progress for certain things because you revisit certain exercises. But there's zero value in trying to keep up with someone to where you can't show back up there the next day. The goal is to be there consistently, like anything else, especially when it comes to working out. The more consistent you are, then the fitter you'll get. So check your ego, show up, work hard, stay within yourself, scale when appropriate, and keep moving forward. Don't hurt yourself.
So what if I'm a guy who's more introverted and, it's not about checking your ego, but I'm just like, Well, I mean, will that coach maybe push a little bit or?
It's funny you say that because the community aspect is actually the very next one. And Ray
Okay.
doesn't know this. He didn't know this. We didn't script this conversation. It was him. And I said, if we're going to talk about it, then let's get together and actually talk about it and have it. So the fourth thing I had written down in my notes is community. All right. So there is an aspect of community. It's people embrace each other. Right. And you're an introvert. Well, you're showing up there to work out, and everybody knows that when you walk through the door of a CrossFit gym, the workout is never easy. If it ever looks easy, you're about to get a big time reality check. Anytime that workout doesn't look bad. If it doesn't look bad, it doesn't look bad for a reason. You're probably going to be on the ground after you're done, knowing that you put in work, right? But the community aspect of it is a big deal. We call them coaches because it's almost like you're a team. And what I mean by that is you're a team because as you get older, you miss the opportunity to be a part of a team. And that was a big draw for me for CrossFit is because I didn't get to embrace the suck with other people anymore. I didn't get to play sports anymore. My days are done. I have a kid now. He plays sports. I don't want to live through him. You know, I enjoy cheering for him and his teammates whenever they are playing a sport. But that aspect of community just brings back the vibes of if you were ever part of a team, you were part of a team, pretty big team, right?
Yeah.
So University of Pitt Panther right there sitting across from me. You guys were in the weight room together, working hard, cheering each other on, getting the big lift, celebrating whenever it might have been the special teams guy who never steps on the field. But, man, he threw up whatever it was and the whole weight room's going nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that from time to time. It's not every day, but when was the last time someone actually cheered for you genuinely?
Yeah. No, that's
Just
good. Yeah.
it doesn't happen that often as we get. You don't have genuine emotion of someone cheering for you as a 40-year-old, and you get that with CrossFit. That sense of community. Whenever you embrace the suck, you went through it. Everybody finished. High fives. Good job. See you tomorrow. So.
Well, no, that feels better. It feels better because, you know, the introverted self that I am, and, you know, there could be those that come out there and they get into this thing and they're just like, what's up? What's going to happen? So,
and that's it.
good.
So community, and then the next thing I have is actually support.
Okay.
So there's support from those people, the high fives and all that. The community aspect of it. And we, for instance, biggest day of the workout year for CrossFit is Memorial Day. Murph.
The Murphs.
The Murph. Even if you don't know it, people know it kind of thing. It's there. Memorial Day, CrossFitters, even people who don't do CrossFit, do Murph. It honors a fallen soldier. He's a former Navy SEAL, and Lieutenant Michael Murphy. Awesome story about him, heartbreaking, but they do this workout across the community, and it's a 1 mile run, followed by 100 pull-ups, followed by 200 push-ups, followed by 300 air squats, followed by another mile run.
I wouldn't get past the pull-ups.
So,
Can you skip a piece of it and go or no? Huh?
So you don't skip it, but back to the first thing, scaling isn't failing. The traditional way to do Murph is with a 20-pound vest on.
Yes.
And then you do it unpartitioned, meaning the mile, the 100, the 200, the 300, then the mile again of those movements. I have never done it unpartitioned. I've ran my mile, and then I'll do 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats, 20 rounds of that, and then we go.
Okay, I see. So it's broken up that way.
Yes.
By rounds. Okay. It's not just.
So you can do it.
100.
You can do it that way, but we scale it, and it sucks just as much no matter how you do it.
I think it's good to hear that I don't have to do 100 pull-ups at one time.
Well, you got to do them, but you don't have to do them in one time.
I like the fact that they break it down to rounds, so that's awesome.
Yeah, but that's one workout, right? But it's just the most famous CrossFit workout that we do. And when we're talking about community and support, that day, that Memorial Day, when everybody shows up to the gym that morning, is the biggest community day at the gym. And it's the most support. And everybody just feels good after you finish that workout. And you did it together. But those are the big things right there. The community and support, it's almost one thing, but it's different because the community is always going to be there. The support is always going to be there. That's a day that it just all comes together.
Well, that's good. I mean, You're drawing me more and more closer.
Well, yeah, man, we're going to get you in there.
Drawing closer.
We're going to get you in there. So the other thing too, Ray, episode, we talked about not getting to bed on a proper time. Here with New Dad Order Podcast to talk to you about a new pre-workout, relatively new to the market, new to myself as well, but it's getting the job done. It's not loaded with caffeine like a lot of the other pre-workouts, so if that's what you're looking for, then this probably isn't the product. But it is based in nootropics, which actually helps brain function. So if you've ever deep dove into that, this is part of what that product has right here. Going to get you ready for the workout. I'm a 5 a.m.er. Like I said, I need it. A lot of flavors. Hit the link in the description. It'll take you to the website. You'll get a New Dad Order discount. Pick your flavor. Bunch of other products as well. They have canned energy drinks. So thanks for listening. Check out Dubby and get that workout in. Well, guess what? CrossFit, it is a class schedule. They offer different classes throughout the day. You got your 5 a.m.ers. I'm a 5 a.m.er. Then you usually have your 8, 9, or some gyms will have a 5 a.m. and a 6 a.m. And then they'll usually have like the 9 a.m. class, which is in most gyms known as the mom class. So that's usually the mom class. It's a lot of housewives that do CrossFit at like that 9 a.m. class. All right, that's just the way it is. So your 5 a.m.ers are show up, make fun of each other, nobody's clothes matches, no one's really worried. Get in there, do your work, and then everybody leaves, and we got the best hour of our day and our workout in already. That's a lot of, you'll hear the best hour of your day was one of those little CrossFit sayings that people say, make it the best hour of your day. Well, I'll make the best hour of my day at 5 a.m., and then other people come throughout the day and make it the best hour of their day, so whenever it fits their schedule. The bigger the area, the more class times you'll have. Just plain and simple, depending on where you live. They'll have noon classes. People get in there at lunch, very similar to a 5 a.m. type vibe where, hey, man, we got an hour. Let's get in here, knock it out. Everybody get back to work. So you'll have that noon class. And then you usually have your afternoon, evening classes, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, depending on the gym or on the hour or the half hour, whatever it may be. Doesn't matter. Find a gym that has the class schedule that fits your schedule.
Now I get it.
Yes.
There's classes. You don't just, it's not free. It's not like when I go to the gym, I just jump on the bench or jump on this or jump on that.
Unique situation to get on a personal level. The gym that Ray and I go to, he works out in the main part. There's a CrossFit gym on the back side of it. It's only open when there's CrossFit classes. Other than that, it's locked up.
Yep.
So it's separate building.
Makes
but
sense,
that's
yeah.
unique. Most CrossFit gyms are standalone all themselves. Unique situation where the health club actually has a CrossFit gym there, which is also a good option too for me because if I don't make a class time, I have the option to go inside and work. So probably a great situation if someone is fortunate enough to have a health club they can belong to that also offers CrossFit. All right. It's not a cult, but it's definitely like a cult. All right. That's the next one. Right. So the next one that we're going to talk about, it's not a cult, but it's definitely like a cult. Right. You're going to feel like the new kid because you're doing something that you're not familiar with. Maybe you have a friend that signs up with you. Probably the best way to do it. A lot of gyms offer a bring a friend week. In fact, in a couple weeks, my gym, bring a friend on a Saturday. Introduce them to it. Gyms offer that. So if they do have a bring a friend, typically that bring a friend is not just someone from the inside, but it could just be any person. Hey, I saw you guys are having a community event, open gym, come check it out. And it'll be new people. A lot of gyms offer that once a quarter. It's pretty common to see an open invite to anybody who wants to come join. Also, Saturdays. Saturdays are a big day where a lot of gyms open up, no fee to drop in. That's one thing that they say, a drop in. I'm one of those people that I love it. I like doing it. People make fun of me. I make fun of myself for doing CrossFit. But when we go on vacation, I usually find a CrossFit gym and go do a workout.
Oh, yeah.
I do. And mainly it's just to go get a t-shirt. That's it. Yeah, I'll go and you pay $25 and then buy a t-shirt and do it. One of my favorite places is CrossFit Orange Beach in Alabama. Gym's cool. People that run it are cool. We go on vacation. I usually find one day to kind of go get a workout in over there and buy a new t-shirt or a hat or whatever, just because that's what I enjoy doing. But that's also part of the cult aspect of it because it's not weird for people who do CrossFit to go drop in at a gym out of town. You start to like it, you enjoy it. It's a type of workout that you want to do, and you're not too hungover on that first day of vacation. I'll go find a gym. But the cult aspect of it, yeah, man, it is there because you're going to be so welcomed whenever you go drop in at a gym. Where are you from? And they're going to talk. But if you're a member of one of the big, Globo gym places that you can drop in anytime because you got a card that swipes in, no one's really greeting you or care where you're from. That's the difference right there. That's a huge difference right there. So community support, all that stuff. It ties in. That is a big deal to the brand of CrossFit and to the people who do it. But to move along, all right, to get into something a little bit different from what to expect or things that happen from the physical aspect where we've mentioned some with the scaling, not going too hard, too fast, support, those things there. One of the big things to not hurting yourself in CrossFit for me is mobility. Just simple mobility. It's crazy. It's not just jumping up on boxes. It's not just doing pull-ups. It's not all that stuff. We do Olympic lifts in there, which is different. So I'm doing just different styles of Olympic lifts, no different than what you would see on the powerlifting competitions and things of that. So
lateral movements,
You know what? That's probably the thing that I don't like about CrossFit the most is that CrossFit lacks lateral movements.
Really?
It does. With CrossFit, almost every movement is linear, and that's probably one of the biggest knocks on it. Mm-hmm. So if you are a tennis player, pickleball player, where you have to have lateral movements, then CrossFit isn't probably ideal to get you better for that. But if you got to bend down and pick up a piece of paper, making sure that your hips are unlocked and your knees are strengthened and your ankles are good, CrossFit helps with that kind of stuff. The functional fitness that so many people try to say that whatever they do is what is functional fitness. Well, functional fitness involves mobility, being able to move. And so many of the workouts that we do stretching before, we do cool downs after, working on mobility, making sure that you don't just walk into the door and just start going. There's a warm-up. You prep for the movements. It's a whole thing. It's an hour. Some of these workouts might only be a 7-minute workout. And you're like, I'm going to show up for a 7-minute workout. What are we doing here? Yeah, well, you're taking, the first 5 minutes of class is a slight warm-up, and then you're doing a different style warm-up to start preparing for the movements that you're about to go. Because if it's a 7-minute workout, it's meant to be all out. It's a sprint. It's not pace yourself. It is just go. Whenever it's a short time cap, right? Time cap, another CrossFit phrase right there. The allowed amount of time to complete a workout. Mm-hmm. Workout might be target time. We want you to finish this workout in 11 to 13 minutes. Very odd times that they'll put on 11 to 13 minutes. Time cap 15. 15 minutes, everybody's done. Everybody's done with a workout of 15 minutes.
And you scale yourself within that 15 minutes.
So you'll scale yourself, which means that if you're trying to hit that and you can't hit the prescribed weight, the RX movement, you're scaling. And with your scale, you should still hit around the target time. If you hit the time cap, then you didn't scale appropriately.
Okay.
And that's another thing that's used and explained by good coaches, not trying to encourage someone, come on, man, you got to lift more weight. Go. No, let's make sure that the movements that we're doing are going to fall into the time that the expectations are created for.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Warming up before, and then boom, here we go. That's good.
So, and the different styles of workout, the running, the jumping, the lifting, all that stuff, trying to get more mobility while we do those workouts to help you just get more fit. Your cardio level goes up, your strength goes up. It incorporates a lot. Because it's an hour. I don't have 2 hours to go to the gym every day. I don't have it. It's not, I'm not going to just invent it. I know that I can go in there for an hour and bust my butt and be done. And that's a huge thing for me.
Cool.
Good? We're getting it?
I'm feeling warmer and warmer.
You feeling warmer and warmer? Well, for me, one of the best parts about it, and this is to go along the lines of some cultish type stuff, but not necessarily because it all depends on your personality, but the gear. You always see the CrossFit people, buddies who work out on the big part of our gym, as I'm like, hey, man, what you got in that bag? Man, I got everything in this bag.
Oh, the pretty bags.
So you got to have all the gear. You don't know what the workout's going to always be. Obviously, you'll know what it is going into it because it's usually posted on the website or in an app or whatever. But
You guys got those different name brands on those bags too. It's pretty
yeah,
cool.
man, Noble,
Yeah,
and
Noble.
Tupood, and Tier, they're all there. Rogue,
cool.
whatever.
Rogue, yeah.
You know, they have all the gear. You got to have the right shoes. You might need a lifting belt. You might need some hand protection. You might need some tape for your wrists. You know, if you're doing power cleans and you got weak wrists, or not even weak wrists, just throwing a bunch of weight. You know, and you want to protect yourself. So, no, the bag has everything. Shoes are a big deal. As much as people make fun of us, and my wife makes fun of me for my collection of workout shoes, but you can't go you don't want to do back squats with Brooks running shoes or spongy Nike shoes, or you don't want to. It doesn't create stability. So yeah, the gear does matter, especially when it comes to shoes, of having the proper shoes to do the workout so you don't hurt yourself by not being on a stable base.
Wow.
So CrossFit shoes do matter. It actually does. No different than basketball. You're not going to go play basketball with running shoes.
You shouldn't.
No, you don't want that. You want something that's rigid on the sides. It's flat.
Sort of help protect your ankles a little bit.
Yeah. So it's to give you more stability. It's same principles as far as with CrossFit and that. But the gear's fun. Buying the new shoes when they drop them every other week, it seems like they have a new color scheme. And then the bags and the belt, the lifting belt. And CrossFit lifting belts are different than powerlifting belts. You don't want all the notches. It's usually a Velcro strap. Why? Because you can take it on and off and loosen it because you have multiple movements in a workout.
Right.
You're not typically doing just a movement.
Right.
You'll have 2 or 3, maybe 4. 4 is not super common, but you'll have variations in the workout that may require you to, or you feel safer with a lifting belt if you're doing some deadlifts, and then you got to go run. You may not want to run with your belt. Unstrap it, take it off, go.
Oh, interesting. Gear. Check.
Gear. Big thing though, Ray. Big thing. So I've been going a little while trying to get ready to come sign up, but is patience. Like patience is key, and I think that is something that people could see anything when you show up to the gym. It doesn't happen overnight. I didn't get out of shape overnight. I'm still getting in shape, and it's not happening overnight. I've had strides that were bigger at times and then regressed, but kind of kept moving forward the whole time. And it's no different. Being patient, knowing that CrossFit it's not a pill, it's not a shot. It's not going to just instantly change you, but you will start to feel different while you do it if you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then don't go. That's it.
Yeah.
It's no different. You can't convince someone that they're going to like something. If you don't like hard stuff, if you don't like the suck, then it's probably not for you. I enjoy it. I like being pushed. I like being uncomfortable. It makes it easier for me, knowing that I'm going to do the same stuff again at some point, and I'm going to be able to do it better. And then do it a little bit better, and then a little bit better. And then as I get better at doing this stuff, the people that are coaching me are giving me more tips and help. And the people that I'm working out with are giving me some tips and help and cheer for me and realizing like, oh man, that's putting some weight on the board now. But you're putting weight on the board at the right time and still moving it the correct way to not hurt myself because I had good coaches, because I had good support, because the community that I belong to is there. So yes, CrossFit can be douchey and it's easy to make fun of, and I get it. Make fun of me. I make fun of myself for doing it. But the patience that I've had to get me to the point where I was 275 pounds at one point and now I walk around at 190, there's a reason. Like there's a reason. Yeah. And it started with incorporating different things. At first it was just being active, and then I wanted something else, and then I started running, and then the running helped, and then now I needed to do something else with the running. And then that's whenever I started doing CrossFit style workouts and then actually signed up and got me to a point now where I enjoy it. Will I fall out of love with it? Possibly. Like anything else, may get bored. Right now I'm not. And I can see the gains that I've gotten and the health that I've provided for myself by doing it, by being patient and just kind of staying the course. But for the time being, that's where it's at. Being patient, those 10 things. That's my expectations of what I think of if I was trying to pitch you to come try it.
No,
That's where I'm at with it.
I'm feeling warm and cozy. I'm feeling warm and cozy about.
Oh, we're gonna make you feel
looking into it,
uncomfortable
yeah.
and sweaty, and maybe even throw up if we do it the right way.
Oh, I don't want to throw up though.
Well, no, so don't try to go too hard, too fast. Stay within yourself. We
That's
talked
good.
about that earlier.
Yeah, we did. We did.
So, and then there's one other thing to wrap this all up. It was 10. That was 10 reasons. Number 11, absolutely nobody knows how to actually do a squat snatch. Just if you sign up, you'll know what I'm talking about, but no one really knows how to do it.
Well, no, I appreciate you breaking down those 10 expectations because it's. I mean, honestly, I've seen different things. I've seen, your change from where I saw you before to where you are today, and like I said, my algorithm has been blowing up since we've been having these conversations. These weekly conversations. So, I really appreciate you breaking down those 10 expectations.
Of course, man. Of course. And like I said, Ray had reached out, mentioned it to me, and I said, you know what? Let's go at it. Let's have that conversation. I can come up with 10 things that mean the most or things that came into my head the quickest after I gave it some thought. That came to me as far as if I was going to give you some type of expectations or something to expect or a reason to join.
So if you have comments or even questions about what we discussed today or what Parfait talked about today, drop them down below.
Yeah. Make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button as well. Like Ray said, drop us a comment below. We appreciate everybody for listening to us. And stay tuned for the next episode of New Dad.